Hello everyone, this is Fenrir Slycon, here to bring a game I've been looking forward to, Surviving the Abyss. There is a short intro video, so there will be a link above to skip it and a timestamp. Without further ado, let's get into the game.
In the years following 1956, much came to be known about the structure of DNA and the human genome. The possibility of cloning a human being was becoming a reality, as our brightest minds raced to be the first to complete the endeavor. After a few short years, scientists reported the first promising results. A human being was cloned for the first time. The celebrations, however, were short-lived. The test subjects were unstable, their DNA damaged by the cloning process. All died within days. Moral objections to the technology turned to public outrage. Outrage turned to protests, and eventually protests turned to riots. Publicly, the research was discontinued. The military, however, was quick to understand the strategic potential of this research. Why stop at recreating life when it could be improved? Plans were drawn up to continue the research in total secrecy, far from the prying eyes of the world, deep below the surface of the ocean. The sea floor provides access to new, highly adapted life forms and ample DNA for experimentation. But the deep sea environment presents a significant challenge. You have been selected to lead a team of the best and brightest. The lives of the crew are in your hands.
Alright, we need to get some basics down. So first thing we want to get down is power and oxygen. So we'll get that nice and quick. Interesting that we're on a little bit of a slope. Need to connect everything with tubes. So we have our power. We also have two constructors, so we'll kind of do it in chunks of two. We also have power we need to do, so let's get our generator connected to our oxygen. We also have a few mining rigs. Those don't take any resources to start harvesting, and we can also turn on the highlight them so we know where to place these. I'm just going, as this doesn't have a cost, I'm just going to kind of put them all around so I hit all the resources. And the two resources we want are concrete in the beginning and steel and a little bit of coal. Steel is a little bit, is probably the most important resource right now. We do need the coal, and we can kind of speed it up as we wait for our buildings to get constructed. Yep, we need power, oxygen, food, and of course resources to continue. We need coal to power everything as a consumable, and to get new people, we're going to clone them, as was discussed. To clone people, though, we do need to catch some like biomass and extra genes to help stabilize the human genome in the cloning process. So we'll need to kind of get that. With kind of these done, we should have the power. We can start doing exploring for additional resources. Exploring and starting to get some research done. Let's get that down. A little bit more power. And we'll also get a sonar beacon, which will allow us to find more resources. Our power is over here, so I'll kind of bias us to this direction. Connect us up. And we should be good there. We do have a little bit of research to start. I'm going to take, there's a decent choices in the beginning. Just kind of quickly go through them. But what I want to grab is power, the coal efficiency. This is a resource we're using up, so we want to use as few resources, consume as few resources as possible until we get stabilized, and that will buy us more time. We'll speed things up All right, we have additional requests to do. We'll get more people if we get 75 food. And for housing, we did not select the technology to produce food right now, so we're going to consume that. It'll take us a little bit longer to do, which is fine. We also have a quest to stockpile coal, which is the lifeblood of our outpost, our underwater research. Okay, we have research. We now have the sonar. It lets us scan for certain resources. Fuel is going to be, all of them are kind of important, but fuel and resources are the biggest ones. We can also kind of see where potentially we might find them. All right, there we go. This is exactly what I was looking for. A coal extraction point is a area where we have an infinite amount of coal we can keep mining, so we can kind of handle the maintenance of running our base. With that known, let's keep scanning this area for additional resources and habitats. If we're really lucky, we'll also have a good cluster of habitats around this area, which we actually might. No additional resources. They're kind of out here. Excellent. It would be nice if there's two. Okay, they're a little bit far. We can kind of over harvest these. There is a building in which to stabilize, and it looks like they might just be out of range. Okay. Well, we're waiting for our research. Let's keep scanning. There also might be a point of interest around here too. That will help us decide where to place. Okay, there's a cave system. Our potential light. So we can't build in the dark. We need to build additional lights. And let's see. We are going to wait for additional resources. Do we want to build the light now? It does take quite a bit of power, but we could always turn it off. This will give us a good idea of what's down here. It is... Here we go. It needs to be kind of close. I don't think I can hit all three of these. The edges are kind of not forgiving in this. So it's better to include something fully. I think though, yeah, we'll get these resources. Iron, additional coal deposit, so we won't actually have to build a separate oxygen network. So certain things will require pollute the air. So extraction, manufacturing will create kind of toxic conditions, but we can have a separate network of tubes and oxygen, so it won't hinder our whole colony. Okay, we now have the research we need to unlock our first farm. This will produce low quality food. There is two types. We can hunt the animals around instead of extracting their genes. That will produce better food as it gives proteins, better calories. But for now, we'll kind of just do these low quality like algae or whatever. And we'll kind of build in this direction as this is where we're going to want to connect to eventually. I think we'll kind of do something like this. And snake down. We'll just kind of take a look. We need an exploration sub. That'll be probably not this episode. We have found this area we can start. Actually, I think it's very worth it to start collecting this. We will. There's a limited supply of these crabs, and we will start to exhaust them. While I'm waiting, I will look for more kind of habitats, it would be nice to get a good cluster of them together. And just to kind of know what's around. Okay. We are going to need more steel. So we have plenty of concrete for now. We'll move off the concrete, prioritize the steel as we're waiting. Just kind of keep doing a little bit of scanning around. Any good resources? And we can build our first kind of living quarters. This almost kind of works well here. We'll just have this bend slightly. Wildly? Yeah, we will. That should be fine. I don't think there's any drawbacks for kind of distance. I haven't noticed it, but I haven't built them kind of that much further than a light circle. Alright, we have this. We're starting to get our first deep sea life forms, some crabs. There's 15 here. We will exhaust it over time until we build a way for our scientists to monitor their population and help them repopulate. We can also look for additional points of interest. I think that's good there. And we've have our first one. Excellent. We do need one more living quarters. We'll put it over here. Alright, you can do it. Normally it's pretty good about letting you do that. Do you have power? Only one tile needs to hit. I think I put it in the perfect spot such that none of them did. That's okay. We'll use one more steel. Alright. We do need additional power. We'll get to that down too. Speed things up while we're waiting. There is one more research tech that I really want to grab as soon as possible, and it will bump our research. This will give us a flat increase into our research, so we'll speed that up. It should be here. It goes right on top. In the beginning, we only have these generalists, and the flat research module produces more than a percentage. And I think the percentage is better if you can get the scientists. There are a few specialty ones, like engineers and whatnot. Yeah, no clusters though of these habitats, which would be very nice. They're just spread a little bit inconveniently apart. Now, we are going to want to start looking into cloning. It would be nice to get the additional people from the stockpiles. I think we need additional food producer for that though. We're consuming 12. We're producing 11, yeah. So we need one more. We'll probably turn this one on and off. Put this nice and close over here. Although it's a little bit out of ways for power. Alright, yep, we don't have quite enough people. We'll move one person. Actually, I don't think we need all the oxygen. Do we have twice as much? No, we do need quite a bit. Each building requires one oxygen, so we'll take it from the research. We have extra mining subs, so we'll have them go for this steel. We do need concrete. We'll have one go back over here. What else do we have? Oh, we have concrete on this one. Let's finish this beacon up first. And just wait. Once we get our food up, we'll get the 4 people. We'll use the 4 people to start cloning. And we'll have the fish we need to do it. Or crabs in this one. We're going to be making crab people to fill out our workforce. Fuel is looking good. Food is almost up there. I can do, I guess, one more quick perimeter. Ooh, there we go. Ooh, there we go. We had a little bit more. I think that's it. We have a mining sub available. Let's get you on a little bit more. We got our crew members. Excellent. Now we can begin the cloning process. The people we have currently, they are all from the surface. They're not clones. They are real people. They're our researcher. We'll put it over by our research. And they will be with us for as long as we need them. Clones, though, they don't last very long. They only last a little bit over a month, maybe a month and a half if we have a good gene combo. We also need power, before I forget. With that, we'll need this built. We could also use a little bit of glass. We should hopefully be stockpiling. Yeah, it looks like we're neutral. On the coal. Yeah, 2 crew, and the 2 crew will work here, so we should be good there. Our first people. Here we go. We can now begin cloning. Before we do that, there is a technology we want to grab. It is this extra slot. This extra slot will increase the odds that we succeed, and it's kind of important. Okay, we'll go into cloning. So we have these crabs. These are the gene options. So there's others we can get. And we have 4. We've unlocked 5. And we can kind of slot them in. Each one we add, we increase the odds of succeeding, but we also increase the mutations, which shorten their lives. We want to have the best odds, so we can get up to 60. We have 5, so we'll have 5 chances, and we'll start the cloning process. This does take quite a while. You can speed it up. In fact, I might just grab, I have the 90, so I'm going to grab, apparently I can't do this if it's running. Oh, insufficient. Okay, I thought I had 90. Apparently I was seeing things. That's what I thought. But we can speed the process up. We'll do that. We do kind of have a morale system, so doing certain things will, over time, give us a boost or decrease light, food, housing, all that helps. It's not something we have to worry. We were successful. First time through, we succeeded. So they have a limited span. We're going to kind of burn through these people. Let's get them a job. We're going to get the job such that we can be more sustainable, so we'll get them helping to repopulate the crabs. We're on like a different level. That might cause problems. We'll put that here and see if it will let us kind of easily connect. Does it look better going this way potentially? I think it does. Just a little bit. A little ziggy. Our crab person will help us raise more crabs to make more crab people. Ooh, okay. So we have an event. We're using a generalist. Oh, they're generalists about to perform genes. So they're about to. Clones about to perform experiments on themselves. They're trying. The clone's trying to clone themselves, but might damage the equipment. Let's just try it. The results could be interesting. So they were successful. They made a clone free of mutations, but they're gone. Interesting. Did they send a specialist? Sometimes you get one. I don't know. I didn't think we had one, but did we get a clone then without with increased lifespan? It looks like that is the case. Now we have a sub that needs a task. Let's get them on. What do we need? We need class is what we need. So we'll send them over here. The next thing we want to kind of go after is this coal. With this, we'll have a renewable source of people and a renewable source of fuel. So that will handle our maintenance going forward. Yeah. We do need kind of more people, though. What else do we need for resources, though? We also need a new technology. Let's grab that really quick. There is a docks. This will allow us to have separate networks. And we also need the extractor. So there is one more technology. And we need just 2 more research to make that possible. We will include, because it's going to be on a separate network. Okay, so now we have the people. But we can keep the power network together. You can have them separate. I haven't seen a need. But as it's going to need its own oxygen. Even with one person, that will give us a 5 buildings we can have kind of on this network. We'll put one of the power on that to help meet our needs. So we have the research for it. We'll grab the coal extractor. We got really, really lucky. No failures. This is like the best luck I've ever had on the cloning process. So we'll get that down. We'll also need oxygen for it. I think we're gonna build on this way. I think we have the most room there. So we'll have, oops, not that. And we will also, so this takes 4 power. We might have to turn something off to kind of bootstrap this up, because we'll need to run the oxygen before we can run the power. But we'll do it like that. We'll bring power in here, and that should do everything. So we'll let that get built. What do we have here? Yep. It's kind of telling us that we're going to have to sacrifice tons and tons of human lives, clones, but human lives nonetheless. We're going to need more sources, more research. There's different locations. We'll have different things we can use, different creatures, different resources. If we're lucky, one of these will have aluminum. Oh, lead. I don't quite know what that one's used for. Yeah. So we have lead. We also have these 2 locations once we get a sub, but that will be definitely in the next episode. Alright, we need to turn something off. We're going to turn probably the food. Is that one? 1 power is exactly enough. So that should do it. This should turn on, which will allow people to work. I actually have to connect it, of course. So people can't get over there. It's not connected to our network. It should be, there's a dock somewhere. Here we go, dock. We'll put that towards our main base. This structure counts as a dock. We even have a transport shuttle, so that should do it. Once that gets built, we should be fine there. We'll have this one turn on. We'll then need... How much extra oxygen do we have here? We'll build the extra housing too once that's done. Cool. So we have this running. The extra power. We can turn our coal extractor. And we can get going on a additional house. Let's put this back over here. Kind of work off a hub. That should help there. So we're good on power. We can turn this back on as we get additional. We need to clone more people, so we'll get a next batch of crab people. I do need to make sure I keep doing that. We also have a spare mining. How's there's? We definitely need more concrete. Get working on that. Whoops, sorry about that. Power. Let's get this from there. Research is looking good. And I think once we actually get a person here, we'll call it the end of the episode. We'll have our first, well, we even have our first outpost, but we'll have our maintenance kind of going down, which we do. So this is the start of our series, Surviving the Abyss. I hope to see you guys in the next episode. I'll see you guys next time. This is Furnace Lycon, signing out.